Hey, hey, what's up, guys? What's happening? Hey, I'm super pumped up about this one today, as usual. But I know this one's going to be extra good because I'm dog tired. I have an ear infection, but I'm pumped up about delivering it. And I would normally be down for the count if I was just to focus on the pain. But hey, once you learn how to redirect your focus, that's when things become fun, and that's exactly what I'm about to talk about. What's up to anybody who's joining right now? Oh man, all right. May have to go a different route right here. Okay. All right, let's check this out. So how about I come over here? All right, shout out to e-copying Vinny. I'm about to play his video of the inspiration behind today's podcast episode. And man, it's a good one. It's about acceptance of all of myself and starting to become, less apologetic about parts of me that I used to be like ashamed of or maybe didn't understand. And the other day, Stephen Larson's webinar, after he talked about who should I be selling to, and I kind of like redirected my focus is like, okay, if I was going to teach successful gamer entrepreneurs the best stuff that I could, if I was going to serve them at the highest level, what could I do? And honestly, right now I'm geeking out over team composition and synergy, and I'm doing it in a fun way with Rainbow Six Siege. And man, it's so fun. So I'm going to continue this. I might be the only one on planet Earth who thinks this is awesome, but it is what it is. And it's helping me stay on track too with where I play to my strengths and beginning to specialize as my own operator because I've been a recruit for a while and I'm ready to specialize to draw that reference to Siege right here. So let me share my screen real quick. All right.
So many people have asked, so here's my answer. Yes, I will extend the Black Friday Cyber.
Tyler Pitts fans.
They said it could not be done. They said it was designed for tanks. They said I could not make it smaller and more accurate. They were wrong.
Oh man, I love that video, and that's the inspiration for the podcast today. And I'm excited. So without further ado, with good old Jaeger in mind, the part of myself that it's like I didn't accept for a while because I didn't realize what I was doing, but I'm about to talk all about that and how I can use this to, help create team synergy by understanding these personality types and drawing them together and having some self-realization about why things work so well in reverse engineering. So here we go. Let's stop the share here. Okay. Three, two, one. What's up, guys? Today I wanted to talk about this Tony Robbins quote that I've really been reflecting on, and that is, nothing in life has any meaning except for the meaning that you give it. And as I've reflected on this, I've been trying to do a lot of understanding myself, not only on a personal level, but how I operate within a team and what my best roles are. And in that process, it's kind of come up where it's like, why am I even trying to make a living in video games? Like, what's my why? What's the reason behind that? And I'm sure that this is going to reflect with many of you out there. And I wanted to make a living playing video games because I really pretty much just wanted the freedom to play the game of life my way, no one else's way. I've always been somebody who's done things a little bit differently. And, it's oftentimes very misunderstood. And another way of putting that is, and this is the part that I used to be apologetic about, and I'm no longer really, is like, this is my rebellious side. I mean, I went, I'm an Ole Miss rebel, man. What can you say? And I really wanted the freedom to play it my way. It's like I understood the way that everybody else was playing this game of life, this game of making money streaming, this game of just the game that's going on, the systems that were already set up. And I just saw ways that I could make it better. And that's what I set off to do. And in order to, I used to hide that part because I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I didn't want to create any tension on purpose, but I knew that part of me was there, and I knew that part of me had a purpose. And to understand this rebellious, havoc causing nature of trying to create change in a world full of systems that have been in place for a long time, it's like, what am I going to do? Well, of course, I'm going to tie a bridge between something that I already know and something that I don't. So just looking at this and thinking of like what they call in esports, the old meta, the most effective tactics available during like the current or the old season, is like there were tactics that used to work, and then there would be some DLC, a new season would come in, the game would literally change, and the strategies of yesterday would not work anymore. And somewhere back in there, it's been a little while, Jaeger used to have an ACOG on his gun, and normally the defenders are way outclassed on weapon power, but Jaeger has a really strong carbine that he uses, and he used to have an ACOG on it, which puts him to where he could play at long range. And it was just, back in the old days, expected that if you died, it was probably Jaeger, especially early in the round. You got Spawn Pete caught off guard, because back then they had a lot of time to get out there too and really cause some havoc. But as soon as they took it away, man, there was a mourning within the Jaeger community, and they are still making memes to this day about the loss of the ACOG. And they're, really stuck in the past. Those Jaeger players who are still caught there, still talking about it. But, it says in his bio, I am the one that geeks out about these sort of things, trying to understand the type of person that would excel at playing this operator in the game. And this person is abrasive and misunderstood. And I was like, hey, that kind of sounds like me sometimes. So it's like, how do I play when I play the best? And it's like, Jaeger has this awesome thing called an active defense system. and it kills grenades. And I just played the video right before I started the podcast on the inspiration behind on my YouTube channel. And, you know, he's they say it cannot be done. They say I couldn't make it smaller and more accurate. And that just connects with me so much. And so basically I had this realization of myself that this whole adventure of learning online marketing and building funnels, you know, to myself in private is like, how long did Jaeger spend making that ADS smaller and more accurate? Well, if it's anything like me, I spent a lot of time playing on a smaller level, concentrated on not the right thing because I had this one misinterpretation. So I got to thinking about how can I get myself out of this hole? Because now I am on defense. I put myself in defense by staying too isolated and to myself, working on building these systems. So, you know, thinking about what Jaeger would do, he would reverse engineer the attack. And that's something that in my mind is equivalent to funnel hacking itself. You go in, you see what's already selling, what's already working, who's buying it already, and then you take it apart and then you try to make it better. But so many times Jaeger can be a little hot-headed and overextend at first. But his first job is to reverse engineer the attack, because where Jaeger's special ability, those systems that he's built work best, are at home. Because he's not going to be there. He's going to reinforce the walls and leave after that. He's going to lay down his ADSs, catch all the grenades, and he's going to leave home. And that's something that at a certain point along this journey that I was ashamed of. Like, I felt like I would come off as abrasive or aggressive or ruthless. And I was, could I be described as that? Maybe at certain times, but only at my worst. And, or at least that's what I thought at the time. That was the way I was interpreting it, and I wasn't aiming it in the right direction. And then after it's time to leave home, so to speak, the ADS in my mind is ClickFunnels itself, because it's this system that you can lay down, and it's going to actually, you know, it's going to catch the bad stuff before it ever gets in. That's why opt-ins are so great and getting emails are so awesome, is because the people that aren't going to give you your email, you don't want them anyway. They're not your true fans. And it doesn't matter how abrasive you are, you know? So that's what I was doing and didn't even realize. So after I put the reinforcements up to give, you know, the rest of the team some time at home, I leave. I like to play an aggressive defense. And I never really realized that until I thought about, you know, I talk from time to time about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and playing rubber guard. That's a very aggressive defense. And, you know, after that, after I leave home, it's pretty much time to create havoc. It's time to kill time, because, you know, the more you can slow down the attackers, the more time plays to the advantage of the defenders. Time is a defender's best friend when they use it correctly, and a good Jaeger can kill a lot of time for the team. But here's the problem. Again, it's like, and I can relate to this so much. Sometimes you start headhunting. You start going for the knockout punch too soon. And that's when you come across as that abrasive, as that being ruthless, even though I know you're just trying to really tell it like it is. And you're coming from a place of absolute certainty and confidence, and that's what it takes. And I was afraid to let that side of me out. But in the process of this, I figured out that within my own life, the structure of my life, the structure of my business, the structure of the way that I interpret the meaning of things is actually creating the order out of chaos, seeing all these pieces and, you know, chunking and making them take up less and less space within the operations of my brain. And I mean, you know, I'm sure some psychiatrist could probably watch this and or listen to this and be like, I don't know, some sort of personality disorder. But thank goodness for disorder most of the time, because I've been to a place of, staying so in that area of focusing on the small things too much and losing touch with the things that really matter, and having the meaning get messed up. But in the end, having that realization that I already have the freedom to create the systems and step out. And I already have been playing it my way. I always have been and always will. So to all the Jaegers out there, or if you have a little bit of a Jaeger personality in you and you're afraid to admit that you play defense a little aggressively and then you occasionally overextend, it's okay. So just remember, you're one upgrade away. All right. Well, that was pretty cool and probably a lot cheesy, but again, I don't care. I'm embracing my nerdiness. I'm embracing the quirks. I've been hiding from them for a while. I don't care who I offend or who I drive away by being in love with video games. It's just part of it, and you're going to have to like it. So this whole ultimate stream machine, it runs on the fuel of human emotions and meaning, and the meaning that you're giving to things. So if you find yourself in a place doing something that you don't like, you have to ask yourself, is it the thing I'm doing, or is it the meaning that I'm giving the thing that I'm doing that's holding you back or propelling you forward? It's up to you. So guys, stay tuned, and I'll catch y'all next time.